Above and Beyond actually let you pre-order their latest music. In the $6 billion electronic dance music, or EDM industry, this English group, Above and Beyond, they're major players, and they also run London-based EDM music labels, Above and Beyond, and they headline this weekend at Madison Square Garden Saturday night. Joining me now is two-thirds of the group, Jono, Grant, and Tony McGuinnes. Sorry, I noted that I got to just start off, guys, at the very beginning. I said two-thirds of the group. Where's the other third?
We always say it's three in the squad, two in the team, don't we? Yeah. It's like a football situation.
Three in the squad, two in the team.
That's it, yeah. So Pavo's tweaking all the visuals for our show at Madison Square Garden right now, back in the hotel.
So he's hard at work while you get to do television.
We get to do the play stuff.
Ah, good. All right, well done. All right, so Tony, let's start off. Explain to people that may not have any experience with electronic dance music what it is.
Electronic dance music is music that's made in a computer mostly, and it's normally a strict 4/4 time signature. And it's been going, really, it's the bastard son of disco music. Disco was the thing that spurred it on, and it started actually in the United States in Chicago. Chicago house was the first kind of electronic dance music, but very quickly people in Europe picked it up and ran with it, and we've been running with it ever since.
Jono, what makes Above and Beyond different than other types of electronic dance music?
I think because we write our own songs, we're quite a kind of self-contained unit in that respect. What often happens in dance music is people make, on their laptop or in their studio, wherever they're working, they make a track and then they send it off to a singer to write a vocal, whereas our songs tend to be about our lives. We do work with other writers as well, Zoe Johnston, Alex Vargas, they're singing on the new album, which is pretty exciting. But on the other hand, the songs are very much written by us, so I think that's one of the things that makes us different.
I'm going to ask you about Zoe Johnston and the song in just a minute, but Tony, I want you to describe to people the kind of lifestyle that goes along with this, because you're on the road, you play large arenas. What's a typical month or a typical kind of tour for you?
We tend to tour in a minimum of 2-week chunks. When we're on tour in America, we can sometimes do it in a bus, but most of the time it means we live half our life in airports. We never really get any time, any place to explore. You're in and out. It feels like it's very glamorous because the bit that people see, the show, is very glamorous, but the stuff that's behind the scenes, the other 22 hours of the day, is just pretty mundane, travelling around. As Jono said, we leave one behind in the studio so that we can keep the music machine working. But for the other two, it's pretty much travelling and travelling.
All right, so group therapy, one of your records, and also All We Need, right? There's the new one.
We're All We Need.
We're All We Need. How did you come up with this?
Well, it's sort of about self-reliance and also reliance on your group of friends. In terms, Tony, you can probably better explain the concept, actually.
Group therapy came out of our experience of what the shows are like and people's relationship with our music. They keep telling us that your last album helped me get through my breakup or the illness of my dad or whatever else. Really life-changing events that they see that music has a role in. And when they come to the show, we're there, all the other people are there, we all have this rich emotional context for our music. So group therapy was a concept that came out of our experience of the shows. We're All We Need, the new album, is taken from a song that Zoe Johnston wrote with us, and it really takes that concept a little bit further. It's also a description, I think, of how Above and Beyond have got here. We've done it all ourselves, we've done it all in-house, and the fans play an enormous part of that machine.
Well, I noticed, for example, that if you go online and you pre-order, you can actually customize the album art that would come with it.
Yeah, you can add your name to it, but that comes after the fact that all the names that are on the sleeve are the band and also lots of our fans as well. And we've been doing that for the first two singles and we'll continue to do that. But if you can't wait to see your name actually appear on the album, you can make it yourself.
Jono, what are you going to do to prepare for the performance? What is the day of like for you?
The day of is actually quite stressful because it's actually, I think, a 6-hour broadcast we're doing. So we've already done most of the preparation, I might add, because we spent quite a few weeks in the studio, remaking a lot of tracks, especially for the night. Pavo's been putting an awful amount of work into the visual side of things. And yeah, then there's the radio script as well. So most of the work has already been done, so we're just talking to you now.
All right, now I've got a couple of questions for both of you, and I want to begin with you, Jono, a sort of a get-to-know segment. I want to know what your favorite music group of all time is.
I would probably say the Pet Shop Boys, because I think the aesthetic image they had with their album covers designed by Mark Farrer, I think, it's so consistent throughout their career. So yeah, the Pet Shop Boys for me are musically very clever as well.
All right, the Pet Shop Boys. Tony, I got to find out from you, who's the biggest artistic influence in your career?
For me, probably an American, Michael Stipe and R.E.M. They became the biggest band in the world without ever trying to become the biggest band in the world. They got very, very large and sold a lot of records and never compromised what they were about. They still maintained a kind of indie label mentality, and we've borrowed lots of ideas and philosophies from them over the years, and I still think to this day they are a great example to bands coming through to how to become successful without compromising. And
when you turn the volume down, Tony, just a little bit, what are you reading? What's your favorite book?
My favourite book is probably American Tabloid by James Elroy. It deals with a very interesting time in American history, and although it's a work of fiction, I think it does a better job of describing what went on there than the Warren Report. It's about the assassination of JFK and the people who were involved in it, and I think it's a very powerful and moving book.
I want to thank you both very much for sharing your time with me. Tony McGuinnes and Jono Grant, they are above and beyond, and they are playing Madison Square Garden this Saturday. The album, of course, is available for pre-order on iTunes now.